We'll be talking about Jaylen Brown and how my man has turned into a superstar, a top 20 player in the entire league. So before we start today's video, I want to hear your comments down below. It'd be greatly appreciated if you hit that like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. The underappreciation of Jaylen Brown has gotten out of control. Despite his impressive playoff run and exceptional two-way play last season, as well as his position at number 8 on points per game scoring this year, he still lives in Jayson Tatum's shadow in the eyes of many basketball talking heads and analysts. And I'm here to tell you not only why this lack of recognition is unfair, but why he's the best player on the Celtics and will make an All-NBA first or second team this year. So before we start today's video, I want to shout out Analytics City for letting me turn this blog post into an article, so go check them out in my description, and let's talk about Jaylen's extraordinary growth. What Jaylen Brown has done on the basketball court and in the film room has truly been unbelievable. The way he has continued to go back to the drawing board in the offseason and figure out what he needs to get better at has been unique and special to watch. When he came out of college, he was extremely raw. To be quite honest, he had a bad feel for the game and was pretty unskilled. All he really brought to the team was energy on the defensive end and a high-flying finish here and there. He wasn't a reliable shooting with the ball from anywhere on the court. He had a problem finishing at the rim. Though in only 4 years, he has turned himself into a polished offensive player to add his defensive prowess and has become, which I will argue, one of the top 20 players in the NBA. Jaylen came into the league as a work in progress. On drives to the hoop, he often lost the ball and got pushed off his line. He had a hard time controlling his body and the ball, which made it tough for him to make decisive and efficient decisions. Ball handling seemed to be the first thing that Jaylen realized he needed to improve upon to be playable in this league. He greatly improved this area of his game during and after his first 2 seasons, which really allowed him to take that jump. When you're able to handle the ball, the game slows down for you. You spend less time focusing on controlling the ball and handling pressure and more time with your eyes up making reads, not having that tunnel vision. He started to fumble the ball less and became more composed and poised with the ball in his hand. It's really incredible to notice the difference in Jaylen's game from his rookie season to the next couple years, specifically in the feel for the game category. If a player does not make a significant jump in this category, which is incredibly tough and it rarely happens in a year, players do not just wake up one day and understand how to make reads at an NBA level of quickness with NBA athletes in your face on a daily basis. It normally takes years and years of film breakdown and experience to improve upon things like shot selection and pace. By pace, I mean the pace at which a player plays at. Better players are often able to play quick without hurrying, by changing speeds at the right moments, not taking aimless dribbles, and using their bodies effectively. For Jaylen Brown, it took an offseason. This season, Jaylen requires the fewest dribbles of any guard and the 4th fewest touches of any player, averaging more than 20 points to get his numbers. This is a testament, I believe, to his improved ball handling and feel. His decision making is at an elite level and it shows in those touches and dribble numbers. It might be counterintuitive, but the better ball handler you are, the fewer dribbles and moves you need to get an opening to the hoop. Jaylen began exclusively as a high flyer who could finish above the rim in transition, but rarely in other situations. He had a poor left hand and, quite frankly, really poor touch around the rim. He shot 48% on his layups his rookie season, which is really bad. This is a common problem for young, explosive athletes, though. Oftentimes, they don't have to finish with too much contact or go to their weak hand earlier in their careers because they can simply jump over the defenders they play against. Of course, it's a very rude awakening for these players when they are finally playing with athletes who are as talented and athletic as them. But with his newfound ball handling ability and increased feel and awareness, Jaylen was able to improve his finishing drastically and adjust well to heightened athleticism of the NBA. He quickly realized that he would have to rely more than just on his athletic ability and was going to have to develop some finesse in his game. And boy, did he develop some finesse. Jaylen increased his finishing percentage to 54%, 55%, and 62% currently this year in the following seasons. This is especially impressive given the expanded pressure he faced nightly as he became more and more of a focal point of the Celtics offense. Truly, he looks like a different player around the rim than he used to be. He's been able to make high contested finishes off the glass with both hands, something he could have rarely done in the beginning of his career with either hand. He gets to 2 feet a lot more and seems a lot more in control of his body when he gets into the lane. It seems like his touch has improved significantly as well, which is a fairly unique skill to develop, especially this late in one's career. It's usually viewed as more of a natural ability. Jaylen didn't stop with his development there, though. Next, he set his mind on truly becoming an elite shooter. He's been impossible to stop in the mid-range, simply rising over defenders with his athletic ability and stroking it at the top of his jump. He's even extended his pull-up range to 3 this season. There's not much more to be said than the fact that Jaylen got in the gym and worked tirelessly on his shot. His pull-up mid-range stand, still three, pull-up three, you name it, he hits it all. Jaylen worked on it and got better at it. The development is happening before our eyes at an unprecedented pace, and not nearly enough are talking about it. Jaylen has what it takes to be a star in this league. It's been well noted how intelligent he is, and I think there's a big reason why we've seen this rapid development. He's both smart enough to figure out what his deficiencies are and address them in a logical and effective way, and dedicated enough to put the hours in required to fix them. This is what separates good players from great players in this league. The good players might be content with scoring 18 points per game and continuing slowly and gradually developing. Great players, on the other hand, completely transform their games in the offseason and add something totally new. Go watch film on LeBron and how teams defended him in his early seasons. Team will give him a step or two, essentially allowing him barely contested pull-up jump shots both from inside the arc and from three. Now LeBron is a consistent three-point shooter who's able to hit the step back, contested threes with some reliability. He's a different player than he was earlier in his career. What he's lost in athletic ability or burst, he's made up for it in his shooting, which has allowed him to prolong his career unlike anyone else. Joel Embiid has done the same thing. He brought his game outside the perimeter and has changed the way he operates in the post. He didn't allow himself to be put in a box of a post player. He's changing the way we view big men because of it. I see Jaylen Brown's development fitting in the same category. He will attack the offseason with vengeance and need to improve at a faster rate than his fellow peers. Furthermore, he will strive to show the entire league that he's not done evolving yet. There's something else, though, that I find incredibly impressive about Brown. He's been playing in Jayson Tatum's shadow for essentially his entire time in Boston, and it seemingly has not influenced one bit. Tatum gets most of the credit for the C's success and is by far the most talked about player on the team. Unlike many other star players in the league, Jaylen Brown hasn't let the unfair treatment affect him. I think that's a sign of his humility and maturity. For such a young player, this is a level of professionalism we don't often see, and it's a testament to how special of a player and person Jaylen is. Jaylen's development is far from over, just as people have come to understand who Brown is as a player, an elite two-way player who can break you down with a dribble and score at all three levels. Exactly when Jaylen will go back to the drawing board and add a complete new part to his game. He's already shown flashes of brilliance as a playmaker. He's made some beautiful lob passes and pocket passes to Tice and Rob Williams out of the pick and roll. He's gotten a lot more comfortable at making reads in delayed transition situations, something that he did struggle with earlier in his career. This is a definite logical next step for Jaylen in his development, and I expect him to approach it as such. In fact, I expect Jaylen to address it quite quickly. The C's have clearly not gotten enough production from their role players and bench this season, and I think Brown will take it upon himself to get them more involved. Given how quickly the other developments in his games have been, I can imagine him becoming an improved facilitator this season, so watch out for it. This is your warning, NBA. Jaylen Brown is going to be a top 15 player. Top 20 player already. He's going to be a top 10 player. This man is a beast. He eats on a daily basis, and I love watching him. He's phenomenal. I want to hear all you Boston Celtics fans down below what do you think of this video, but that's about it for me today, guys. I hope you guys did really enjoy that. Hit that like, subscribe button. Till next time, guys, but peace out.